Benjamin Netanyahu has just done a speech and has proven to the world that he is crumbling. The narrative of this conflict, of this genocide, is slowly falling piece by piece, and we can see that in his heart he knows he is losing. Now, there's two phases to this. One is, of course, the entire removal of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Netanyahu.
Okay.
Yes, that's what his name is.
And the second is the end of the occupation. So let's watch this video and see exactly how and why we can tell that Netanyahu is crumbling, and for want of a better word, he is finished.
You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. You're finished.
When the ICC investigates Israel for fake war crimes.
Okay, so fake war crimes. He's taken it further now, right? So there's fake news. Now he's on about fake war crimes, even though every single war crime has been documented. Well, not even every single. What has been documented has been clear war crimes, and I'm not sure exactly how this guy can even for a second say that it's not a war crime.
This is pure anti-Semitism.
And I think this really is the telltale sign. Right at the start of this, we can see from Netanyahu, that he is crumbling now, because he's actually linking the atrocities and the genocide that is happening in Palestine to Judaism somehow. He is saying that to criticize the war crimes that they are committing, the genocide that they are committing, is actually anti-Semitic. Now, I want to send a clear message to the Jewish people that what he's actually doing here is he's using and he's weaponizing this real form of racism and abuse that the Jewish community do suffer from. Anti-Semitism is real, just the same way as Islamophobia is real, and racism towards black people is real, etc., etc. Racism, abuse is all real, okay? Anti-Semitism is one form of that. And what he's doing is he's using when a Jewish man is walking down the road and gets abused because he's a Jewish man, he's using that to justify the killing of innocent men, women, and children, where over 8,000 children have now been murdered at his hands. That's not right.
The court established to prevent atrocities like the Nazi Holocaust against the Jewish people is now targeting the one state of the Jewish people.
Okay, so yes, the UN was formed in order to prevent future Holocausts, but that does not give the Israelis the right to then commit Holocaust and say, well, why are you talking to us about Holocaust when you were meant to protect us from future Holocausts? The UN are saying, hold up, bro. What happened to your people, your so-called people? Because at this point, I really do have doubts over whether this Netanyahu is actually a religious Jewish man. Maybe culturally he is, but from a religious perspective, I don't think so. And look, ultimately, the fact that he's weaponizing this word anti-Semitism to justify a genocide should ring alarm bells for the Jewish community, and they should speak out against what he's saying here, because he is actually diluting the power and the importance of that term anti-Semitism by joining it and linking it to this genocide. And so he's saying that because the UN were involved in, or the UN was started in order to prevent the Holocaust in future events or future Holocausts, that they shouldn't look at us. Why should they look at us? We're the people that suffered. No, sir. You did not suffer. Your ancestors maybe suffered, but you, sir, are committing worse crimes on a day-by-day perspective than even Hitler did.
First, it outrageously claims that when Jews live in our homeland, this is a war crime.
Like, should we go into should we even go into this? I don't want to get into an argument with Jewish people about this. This is not about This video is literally not even about the whole of Palestine and the whole of Israel and does Israel have a right. No, this is not even about that. This is about the genocide that's taking place and the justification of that genocide. He's saying that it's a war crime. Well, look, you committed atrocities in order to get your homeland back from the people that were already there for generations and generations and generations. We can go into it. The Canaanites were there before anybody else. So like, please just get rid of this now. Just stop talking about these things and stop convoluting things. Stop bringing the Jewish people, true Jewish people, into this argument. I don't think that's a good thing.
Second, it claims that when democratic Israel defends itself against terrorists who murder our children, rocket our cities, we're committing another war crime.
Yeah, so the point is that if you're saying that Hamas are terrorists because they kill children and they kidnap people, then, and because you're a democratic country, that's allowed somehow. No, it means that you are one in the same. On that perspective, it means that you are one in the same. And then if you look at it on a numbers perspective, you are literally 20, 30, 40 times worse. And I'm just talking about the last 2 months. We're not even talking about, the last 20 years, last 30 years, last 75 years. We're not talking about that. We're just literally talking about the last 8 weeks. I don't understand how you could have this separation in your mind that what Hamas did was so bad, but what we're doing is good. How is that even possible for you to even compute that? Doesn't make any sense, bro.
Yet the ICC refuses to investigate brutal dictatorships like Iran and Syria, who commit horrific atrocities almost daily.
So this is one of my, the word favorite is, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but when I see Zionists saying this, you're literally, he said, what did he say? He said they're committing atrocities daily. Why don't you look at them? So he's admitting that they are committing atrocities, as in they are themselves, Netanyahu himself and the IDF are committing atrocities daily. But he's saying, why are you looking at us? It's anti-Semitic that you care about us and, you don't care about them. Well, again, I'm not getting into that. Let's not get into Syria. Let's look at you, right? You are saying yourself, you are admitting yourself that you are committing atrocities daily. And you're killing men, women, and children indiscriminately on a daily basis. Why don't you take responsibility for yourself rather than trying to deflect the narrative to somewhere else? And look, those issues have their own geopolitical situations. This situation is something that as Muslims, we really, really take a keen eye on this because Al-Aqsa is a haram for us, and Palestine is a area that holds great significance from a religious perspective. All the prophets have been in Palestine, so we want to make sure that Palestine is a safe, peaceful country, and we of course want to make sure that Al-Aqsa is kept safe. So let's not talk about that for now. That's having their own debates, that's having their own issues. We are looking at what you're doing, and what you are doing is committing war crimes on a daily basis. So focus on yourself, because you are going to be in court soon. And that day is going to be a very, very interesting day for you, I'm sure.
As Prime Minister of Israel, I assure you, we will fight this perversion of justice with all our might.
So what's he going to do? He's going to bomb the UN now? Is that what he's... And what's interesting is that he's saying, as the Israeli Prime Minister, I promise that we'll do. So he is clutching at straws now because his own people are protesting outside of his house. The hostages themselves have been ripping into him, saying that you are doing a lousy job. All of this is your fault. So I think what's very interesting about this speech is that it's very telling at the fact that Netanyahu is losing his position now. He's losing his mind, he's losing his grip, he's probably losing his sleep as well. And that's because he's been committing war crime after war crime. He what he has done is now something which even the head of the UN has invoked, Article 99, which is something that's never been invoked, right? Of course, America voted no to the ceasefire based on that.
Raise your hand.
En contra.
Against?
Abstenciones.
Abstentions?
El resultado de la votación.
The result of the vote is as follows. 13 votes in favour, 1 against, 1 abstention.
El proyecto de.
The draft resolution has not been approved due to the veto of a permanent member of the Security Council.
So that's obvious. But his position is now untenable. His position is very shaky. And as soon as this war ends, as soon as it ends, he is going to be tried as a war criminal. His own people will probably help that to happen as well. Now, the point of this video was really to talk about that one statement that he made where he said that the fact that the UN are looking into this as war crimes is anti-Semitic. And I really want to emphasize this point, that for the Jewish people who are a minority, they are a persecuted minority from a historical perspective. You should be very, very outspoken about this. You should condemn this speech, because he is really, really taking power away from that word. To call the atrocities, to call the genocide that he's doing something which is Semitic, according to him, it's pro-Semitic to do what they're doing, I think is a very dangerous statement to make, because you are now mixing religion with politics and religion with this war that's going on. And I don't think, I don't think any religion, whether it's Judaism, Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, I don't think any religion would claim what he's doing. No religion. When ISIS were doing what they were doing, ISIS were condemned outright by Muslims. Outright. It was only the xenophobes, it was only the very uneducated people of the religion that would support something like that. And again, you can only say that people who support what he's saying are the xenophobes, are the extremists, are the uneducated people in their religion to support this. And of course, you must be a psychopath to say that what he is doing is right. Now, at this point, I don't really have any words. What can you say? What can you say? So let's end the video here. Guys, if you like this video, make sure that you subscribe. Don't be cheeky. And I'll see you on the next video.